Imagine a world where the ground beneath your feet is as solid as the idea that the Earth is the center of the universe. That's how it was for centuries. People believed the Earth was still, and the sun, moon, and stars all revolved around it. This belief wasn't just a casual thought. It was a fundamental truth, backed by the most powerful authority on earth at that time, the Catholic Church. But what if I told you that this entire belief was shattered by a few brave souls who dared to challenge the status quo? In the 16th century, a Polish astronomer named Nicolaus Copernicus proposed a radical idea. The Earth revolves around the sun, not the other way around. This idea, known as heliocentrism, was not just a scientific theory. It was a direct challenge to the Church's teachings. The Church, which had a stranglehold on knowledge and belief, declared this idea philosophically foolish and absurd and formally heretical. They argued that it contradicted the Bible and the teachings of the Church Fathers. For 28 successive popes, this view remained unchanged. It took the Church over 300 years to admit they were wrong. But the story of how this ancient belief was overturned is more than just a tale of scientific discovery. It's a story of human curiosity, bravery, and the struggle between faith and reason. It's a story that shows how the world we live in today is shaped by the battles fought by those who came before us. In 1519, a Portuguese explorer named Ferdinand Magellan set out on a journey that would change the world forever. His goal was to find a western route to the Spice Islands, but what he discovered was far more significant. Magellan's voyage was the first to circumnavigate the globe, proving once and for all that the Earth was round and much larger than anyone had imagined. This journey exposed the central myth of the medieval world, that Europe was the center of everything. Suddenly, the Earth was no longer the still point of the universe, and the old certainties began to crumble. The impact of this discovery was profound. It challenged not just the Church's teachings, but the very way people understood their place in the universe. If the Earth was moving, then where were heaven and hell? What did this mean for the afterlife? The medieval mind, which had been shaped by centuries of religious doctrine, was suddenly faced with a world that was much bigger and more complex than they had ever imagined. The Renaissance, a period of great cultural and intellectual growth, had already begun to chip away at the medieval worldview. Nationalism, humanism, and the rise of literacy were all contributing to a shift in how people thought about the world. But Magellan's voyage delivered a final, decisive blow. The power of the medieval mind, which had long held sway over people's beliefs, was broken. One of the most significant figures in this shift was Galileo Galilei, an Italian astronomer who lived a century after Copernicus. Galileo not only supported the heliocentric model, but also provided evidence to support it. He observed the moons of Jupiter, the phases of Venus, and the mountains and craters on the moon, all of which contradicted the Church's teachings. Galileo's work was so threatening that he was tried by the Inquisition and forced to recant his beliefs. He spent the rest of his life under house arrest, but his ideas continued to spread. The Church's resistance to these new ideas was not just about science, it was about power. The Church had used its authority to control knowledge, and by extension, people's lives. By challenging the Church's teachings, scientists like Copernicus and Galileo were also challenging the Church's power. This struggle between faith and reason continued for centuries, and it still resonates today. One of the most famous figures in this struggle was the French philosopher Voltaire. Voltaire lived in the 18th century, a time when the Enlightenment was in full swing. The Enlightenment was a period of great intellectual and scientific advancement, and it was characterized by a belief in reason and progress. Voltaire was a fierce critic of the Church, which he called l'infâme, the infamous. He argued that the Church's teachings were based on superstition, and that reason was the path to truth. However, Voltaire also believed in the existence of God, though he did not agree with the Church's interpretation. He famously said, "If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him," highlighting the tension between faith and reason. The struggle between faith and reason continues to this day. In a world where science has explained so much, it can be challenging to maintain a strong belief in a higher power. Many people find comfort in their faith, but doubt is a constant companion. The certainty of medieval faith, the belief that everything was known and understood, is a thing of the past. Today, people must navigate a world where knowledge is constantly evolving, and the answers to life's biggest questions are not always clear. Despite the challenges, faith remains a powerful force in the world. There are now over 1 billion Christians worldwide, and many of them find strength and meaning in their beliefs. However, the specter of skepticism haunts even the most devout. In a secular society, where science and technology play such a significant role, maintaining a strong faith can be difficult. The loss of the medieval certainties can be deeply felt, and the struggle to reconcile faith with reason is ongoing. In the end, the story of how the Earth was proven to revolve around the Sun is a story of human progress. It shows how curiosity, bravery, and the pursuit of knowledge can lead to profound changes in the way we understand the world. It also shows that the struggle between faith and reason is a fundamental part of the human experience. While the medieval mind may be gone, the questions it grappled with questions about our place in the universe, the nature of God, and the meaning of life continue to challenge us today. So, the next time you look up at the night sky and see the stars moving, remember that they are not moving around you. You are moving around the sun, and the universe is much bigger and more complex than anyone ever imagined. And in that vast, mysterious universe, the struggle between faith and reason continues, a testament to the enduring curiosity and complexity of the human spirit.